It's between the levels of add and full. The cap is present and tight, right? That's all you have to say because it's got fluid in it. So you want to make sure you say not leaking, okay? All my hoses to and from, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, not cut, torn, or frayed, not leaking because it carries the fluid, right? The clamps, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. That's all you got to say, okay? And then we're going to go right to the water pump, right? The coolant pump. So you follow the hose. I always follow the hose off the bottom of the radiator, and it comes up and it comes around, right? And it comes around and it goes up and it goes around and it goes right to there, right? My water pump, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not leaking. It is a belt-driven water pump. My belt is securely mounted, not cut, torn, or frayed, no more than 3/4 inch deflection. 3/4 inch deflection means no more than 3/4 inch play. So you know how you push on it? You don't want a lot of big play in there because it's not doing what it's supposed to do. If you have a lot of play in there, it ain't making a turn, right? Okay. So after on this motor, this is all you have on this side: the coolant reservoir and the water pump. Okay. Then you just all you have to do is say all my hoses and all my hoses are securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, not leaking. All my clamps are all present and tight, and all my wires are not cut, torn, frayed, or burnt. So you did an overall view of the whole thing, right? Now we go to the nope, not on the test. Don't worry about it. Okay. Now we go to the other side. On this motor,
our information,
on this motor, this is all you have.
Oh.
Piece of cake, right? Okay, let's go.
For our information, sir?
Yep.
This is filter?
I don't care about that. It ain't on test. It's not on the test. Don't worry about it. Don't get yourself confused. There's enough for you to remember, okay? Now we go to this side. And I always, me personally, okay, and every pre-trip's a little bit different, right? But me personally, in my head, this is the way I do it, okay? My power steering reservoir is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not leaking. It's between the levels of add and full. My cap is present and tight. Follow the hose, right? My hose, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, not leaking. All my clamps are present and tight. Follow the hose to the pump. Where's that hose going? It's going right there to the power steering pump. It's right back there, okay? Just follow the hose. If you're ever in doubt, follow your hose, okay? So, I know it goes to the power steering pump. Power steering reservoir, power steering pump, okay? My power steering pump, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not leaking. Yeah, because it carries fluid, right? Yep, very good. And it is a gear-driven power steering pump, okay? There's 2 belt-driven, and then there's 2 gear-driven. The belt-driven is the water pump and the alternator. Thank you. The alternator's right here. That is a belt-driven part. So on this motor, you have the power steering pump, which is gear-driven, and your air compressor, which is gear-driven. And the air compressor on this truck is harder to see. I can show you on the red motor where it's a little bit more defined, okay? So there's your 4 major engine parts that are belt-driven or gear-driven, right? You got water pump, and your air or your alternator is belt-driven, and your gear-driven parts are the power steering pump and your air compressor. Okay, everybody got that? Okay. So we did this. I followed the hose and went to my power steering pump. Now I'm going to go to my alternator. My alternator is right there. See these little flanges? Yes, that's how you tell. Okay, and so my alternator is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. What does an alternator do? It charges your battery. So obviously it has wires coming off of it, right? So I always want to put my wires in there with it. My wires are all securely mounted, not cut, torn, frayed, or burnt, right? Because if it's burnt, it's not charging your batteries, is it? Right? Okay. So I always do my alternator, my wires, and then I go, how's it driven? It's belt driven. My belt, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. Not cut, torn, or frayed, no more than 3/4 inch deflection, okay? And then I go to my oil dipstick, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. To check it, I would wipe it off, or pull it out, wipe it off, put it back in, pull it back out, and it should be between the levels of add and full. If I need to add it, I'd add it right here, right? And I always go down to my steering shaft, right? Steering shaft. Securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. My universal joint, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. Steering shaft, steering gearbox, right? See how it's all coming together, making sense? So when you name one part, it's the name of another too. Okay, my steering gearbox, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, not leaking, because it's got fluid, right? Yep. All my hoses to and from, whether they be metal or they be plastic. Some of them's plastic, some of them's metal, some of them's rubber hoses. But all my hoses, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, not leaking, okay? And then I always go from there to my pitman arm, my drag link, and my tie rod, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, okay? Castle nut, cotter keys, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, loose to be indicated by shiny metal, right? Okay, and then I always go leaf spring hanger, front and rear, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. Leaf spring, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, broken, not shifted. My U-bolts and mounts, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. Okay, and then while I'm in here, I do my shock absorber, securely mounted, top and bottom, not cracked, bent, or broken, not leaking, because it's got fluid or air a lot of times, your shock absorber does. And then on this truck, the brake air line's missing, ain't it? Because we robbed it. All right, but on every single brake chamber that you ever come across, you'll always have a brake air line, the brake chamber, the push rod, and slack adjuster, right?
Yes,
You already know that without even looking at it. You know that in your head.
Yes.
I know what's there, okay? So my brake air line, securely mounted, not cut, torn, or frayed, not leaking. My brake chamber, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, broken, not leaking. My push rod and slack adjuster, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, with the wheels chalked and the brakes released, will not travel more than 1 inch. Okay, that means if they travels more than 1 inch, it's out of adjustment. If it's out of adjustment, are you going to stop? You're not going to stop.
You
Right?
have to go to service.
Exactly. You got to make sure that that's working properly. Okay. And then I always go from there. I go right into my inside, my brake linings and drums. I keep it very simple on brake linings and drums. Okay. My brake linings and drums, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. My brake linings are not excessively worn. Just like your brake shoes on your car, right? If your brake shoes are excessively worn and there's no pad left on it, are you going to stop? No. Right? Same thing, same concept. Okay? And then I go to my tire. My tire, no abrasions, bulges, or cuts. Minimum tread depth of 430 seconds, right? On the thing, evenly worn. Okay? My rim, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. No legal holes or welds. My lug nuts are all present and tight, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, loose to be indicated by shiny metal or rust trails. My hub seal. And the reason this is called a hub seal is a individual hub, whether it be one tire or two, it's a hub, correct? On an axle seal, that means that there's an axle running all the way through to the other side, correct? There's not an axle running through to the other side on this one, is there? So it's an independent hub. So that's a hub seal, okay? Hub seal, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, not leaking. All my bolts are present and tight and there's no leaks. And then I go from the hub seal, the levels between add and full. If I need to add it, I'd add it there. And then I go to my valve stem, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, not leaking. If I had a tire pressure gauge, I would check it to the specifications of the tire, right? That's how we check our tires, right? Did I miss anything? Is that pretty good? What is it? The frame and cross member? I usually do that back here.
Okay.
I do, but you can do that up here. I can just see it better back here.
Yeah.
I showed you yesterday.
My frame and cross member, I can see that a lot better right there.
Yeah.
Even with the trailer.
Because you
Yes,
are checking
even
the
with the
frame
trailer
in
on.
both sides.
Yeah, you can check it. As long as you check it, you can check it up there, you can check it here.
Okay.
It's easier.
It's easier here.
Don't you have to check the steps and the catwalk too?
Yep.
Yes.
You can get it all at one time.
Yep. And so when I'm in here and when I'm just showing you guys when I'm doing my electrical line and my airlines,
Service.
tractor, the trailer, all that stuff, and then I work my way in. Steps and catwalks, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, all the way to the driver. My frame and cross members, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, no legal holes or welds. And then while I'm up here, I look down there at the drive shaft, right? Drive shaft, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, free to breathe, right?
universal.
I do my routine like that, okay? And then as I'm standing right here, I get my torque arm, right? After I do my drive shaft, I do my torque arm. Securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. The bushings are not excessively worn, right? That's me personally on my pre-trip. That's what I do, okay?
Driver door, I think.
Yep, I missed all that. I just come back here real quick just because we were skipping around a little bit. But does that give you an idea? You want me to do this more?
Yeah, I'm
You
making.
make me nervous with it. That just gives you an idea of what to look for up there. Try not to confuse yourself with all this stuff.
Door handle.
And it's
Cap
time,
nut.
plus it's more knowledge. There are more stuff that's going through your head. You're like, oh no, did I miss this? You know, see what I mean? Keep it simple to what you know that's on the test. All right? Keep everything simple. Yeah, keep it simple. I tell myself that every day. Keep it simple. Okay. When I come into my door, you know, the door handle's right here. Securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. It opens, or latches and unlatches, opens and closes, right? My mirror bracket, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, holds the weight of the mirror. I open my door, and I got my weather strip around here, right? My weather strip, securely mounted, not cut, torn, frayed. And then when I open the door also, I look at my hinges. The hinges are actually right there, right? My hinges are securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, hold the weight of the door, right? My fire extinguisher is usually right here also. My fire extinguisher, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's fully charged, 10 BC rated with the pin in place, right? Fire extinguisher doesn't do you no good if it's empty, right? You always got to make sure that it's fully charged, the pin's in place, okay? I shut my door, catwalk and steps, right? My steps, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, hold the weight of the driver. My fuel tank, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. I know that there's 2 straps on this, a minimum of 2 straps, right? My fuel tank, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, no leaking, right? Because it's got fluid. It has a minimum of 2 metal straps. They are securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. They looseness be indicated by shiny metal. My fuel cap, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not leaking, and it has a metal strap or a metal chain and a rubber grommet. Okay. And then I work my way back. My driver's box or side compartment box. My side compartment box has a minimum of 3 reflective triangles and a spare fuse for every fuse in this truck unless it's equipped with a circuit breaker, okay? That's all we say about this area right here. Oh, I forgot my marker light right there, didn't I? My marker light, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's proper color of amber. Fire extinguisher. Did it? You done it? You did it? I did it. You did it. So,
This part is separate.
yes,
That part.
now you can stop that video right there, and then, you know, that's a big major portion, right? And then